Good afternoon. I am Jessica Green, and I am going to do a training on our sales wheel, as we call it. Where is your prospect? We just launched this type of training maybe a couple of months ago, and we've done a recording on it a couple of times. I just wanted to make this really concise on the promoter and the customer side so that it's an easy training for you to review at any time and put any new promoters through this training. So what is this wheel? What we realized is we were offering samples out to just anybody and everybody, and we really weren't asking very many questions. So we were getting a lot of objections, and that was turning into wasted time, wasted samples, wasted product, and a lot of frustration for not being able to convert your trials over to actual customers or promoters. So I learned about this process from somebody and kind of created our own so that it made sense for our team and for what we sell and what we do. So I just actually asked in our team chat right before I hopped on here to record this, what are some of the biggest objections that you all get when you're trying to sell the product as a customer to a customer as a customer prospect. So I want to go through this wheel just a little bit to help you. And I highly suggest taking a snapshot, asking for this picture to be dumped in the chat or your sponsor to send this to you so that you can kind of put this on your phone and have this wheel handy for yourself so that you can reference back to it at any time. And I can almost 95% guarantee or promise you that if you use this process, you will waste a whole lot less product, a whole lot less time, and you'll close a whole lot more sales for the right people. So let's take, for example, we do on a regular basis happy birthday reach outs, and we reach out and we say happy birthday and sometimes offer a little sample of our product for their birthday. And for a long time, we were just offering them. We weren't asking any questions. We have changed the birthday message up a little bit. If you don't have the current birthday message, I highly recommend that you, it's in the Boards app. You can get it from your sponsor. You can get it from your upline. And let's get the one that asks a few more questions on that about what they might be looking for. So one of our biggest issues is just offering free samples out there, somebody not taking it when they get it, somebody taking it and not following the directions, someone taking it and ghosting you, someone taking it and then having all kinds of objections to the actual buying process after that sample. So what we want to do is find out what kind of problems we can solve for people, problems we can solve for our customers just using our product, and problems we can solve for our promoters that we can solve about getting started in the business with us. So we're going to put the promoter off to the side for just a second and work on customer first. So number one, in that first portion of the wheel, are they content where they're at? Are they happy with where they are at or what they have? So maybe you're offering a sample out to your network and you're brand new, a birthday sample, or just because you have a bunch of samples and you want to start getting your business launched. We want to find out what kind of problems we're going to solve first. Maybe they're content with drinking coffee every morning and their store-bought vitamins. Maybe they're completely content. So getting somebody a trial like that, you want to ask some more questions first and see if they're even willing to be maybe challenged with something new and see where they're at. If they're very pressed on sticking with their coffee and the vitamins they're with, they might not be the right person to sample, okay? So let's be aware of that when we're getting samples out, that we're just not throwing samples like noodles at a wall and hoping they will stick, right? So let's find out first if they're happy where they're at. Maybe you come across somebody that says, no, I'm just exhausted all the time. I wake up to the coffee pot, but by the time I get home at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm absolutely crushed. Like I can't, it just takes everything in me just to do the laundry and get food on the table for dinner and the kids off to bed. And then I got to do it all over again the next day. How many of you hear that all the time, right? So they don't sound very content with where they're at. They stuck in there that they drink coffee in the morning, but it doesn't sound like that's a real good solution for them. So maybe we can help them. That's your doorway in there to knowing that there's an issue. They're exhausted. They're aware there's an issue. They know that they're tired. They know that they've been putting coffee in, and that's not quite getting the job done, right? So now is your chance to ask some more questions. And this is where we fail. We just throw a sample at them and hope that it sticks, right? Or we didn't even ask those questions and we just offered them a sample because we think that Thrive will change everybody's lives because we're well aware of that. They just have to be willing and able, right? But we don't want to just throw trials at people who aren't going to take them. They're going to let them sit on their kitchen counter, or they're not going to take it seriously once they get it and actually evaluate how their body's feeling. So we want to make sure they're aware of the issue that they have. And we want to see if they're committed to fixing or changing it. This is a good one for, okay, let's just stick with the coffee one. So if you ask some more questions of your friend and say, okay, well, it sounds like you're just really tired by the time you get home from the end of your day. What's making you drink the coffee first thing in the morning? And find out why they're drinking the coffee first thing in the morning. And it's because they need to wake up and they need to feel alive and they've got to be alert to drive to their job and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is where you can ask them, well, if I could put something in your body for 3-4 days as a sample, would you give up the coffee for just a little bit and test out my product and see how this could work for you? They might give you some pushback on stopping that coffee. So what I tell people is, okay, pour the cup of coffee if you need to. Don't drink it unless you absolutely, this product isn't working for you. So we don't want to take coffee completely away from them. We just want them to be aware that the two things can kind of fight each other and they might end up crashing anyways because the synthetic caffeine in the coffee is making that happen. But those are all questions you should be answering before you even decide to send them a trial out. Okay. And the problem is what we were doing is just sending those samples out without even finding out if the person was committed to fixing or changing the habit that they have, the habit that's not working. So once they say yes, they're committed to taking your trial, taking it correctly, following the directions. Let's get that sample off to them. And once we get that sample off to them, it's our job to follow up. And I will just put a shameless plug in here that our team has a trial bot that is www.startmysample.com that you should be putting all of your trial users in so that you have help with the follow-up system. You still need to follow up with your people, but our automated bot will make sure that they get follow-up as well. After that, once they've started trying the product and you can ask them some questions about their experience, you can find out what other things, and maybe you ask some of these questions about like available options for them. So if she was drinking coffee before, what other things has she tried to increase her energy level so that she's not crashing on the couch at the end of the day? What other options are available to her? What multitude of options do we have available for her for energy levels? We, of course, like to get everybody started on the 3 simple steps, but you might be throwing some objections like they have a shellfish allergy, or they have an aversion to caffeine. We do have some other products. We need to find out what options we have available and what options have they tried before so that we are not just wasting product and sending things out again that aren't going to stick. So then once we get through their available options and what's going to be the best solution for them, okay, we have determined that the best solution for them is the Thrive experience, the 3 simple steps. We need to get the capsules, the shake, and the DFTs out to them so that they can experience this product. Now, by doing it this way and making sure you're asking all the appropriate questions along the way and making sure they're the right person for your trial, you are going to waste a lot less of those trials. You're going to get people who actually sample when they get it and follow up with you to find out if your solutions actually worked for them, right? You're going to get a whole lot less objections. So when you get objections like, I can't, once they have the trial and they have, an objection to the cost of it, or let's see, they don't want to give up their coffee, or they don't like the shakes or things like that. You've already covered that before the sample even went out. And then also, if they do give you the I can't afford, there's a couple of solutions we have here. Number one, go back to how committed they were to fixing or changing the problem. Let's pretend this was a weight loss one and they were really wanting to lose 40 pounds. Okay. They're aware there's an issue. You've asked them what other things they've tried. What other options have they tried? Have they done medical weight loss? Have they done Weight Watchers? Have they done a different supplement company? Have they gone to the gym? And how committed were they to fixing or changing this 40-pound weight loss? Oh, they have their, 25th class reunion coming up this summer, or they have spring break coming up and they really want to lose this weight, and find out how committed they are. What is that goal? What are they really trying to achieve there? Or is this something they've been saying for 20 years and they're not really committed to fixing it, right? Because then when the cost comes up as an issue, the price of the product, you can go back to the things that they were committed to changing and hit on those again and say, okay, Susie, I know that this costs about $5-6 a day, and I really want you to lose that 40 pounds that you were really wanting to lose by your class reunion this summer. Let's think about it like this. It's about $6 a day. Is $6 a day worth you walking into your reunion in July and being able to be 40 pounds lighter? How will that make you feel? Because you spent the $6 a day on your health to get you feeling better, more energy, lose some weight. Why don't we work on this? We have a program called Thrive for Free. If you refer 2 people, I can help you thrive for free. So let's get your first month ordered. How about we get your first month ordered and you start referring a couple people to me? I will get samples out to them and we'll try to get you 2 referrals by the end of this month. And then the following month, on the 2nd of the month, you're going to earn product credits in the average of the 2 orders that you referred, and you're going to be able to order your product for free. So we've just taken the cost off of the table, but you have to have done this wheel all the way correctly. But for any of that to even make sense and to be able to go back to their commitment and their want and need to change and fix the problem before you can go to step 4 or step 5. And the problem with our samples is we just try to get them out and we don't actually try to solve a problem. We know everyone needs Thrive. So it's natural for us to just put trials out there to everybody because we think, well, gosh, if they just try Thrive, we're going to solve all their problems. That's not how it's going to work in the sales process of this, though. So I urge you to use this wheel when you are talking to any prospect before the sample even goes out the door. Okay, let's switch gears for just a second so I don't make this training too long. And let's go on the promoter aspect of this. Okay, so same thing. Somebody reacts to one of your posts about the business opportunity and says, I want more information. So you get into a conversation with them. You tell them about the VIP 800. You tell them about the bonuses they can earn. You tell them about the auto bonus. Maybe you get them on a call with your upline. Maybe you send them the business opportunity video. And then we've got some promo going on and you can give them half off their kit or $50 off their kit or a free set of DFTs with their kit. And you're right into selling that kit to them. We never even found out if they were content with where they were at because we didn't ask any questions. Why did they even message you in the first place to find out about the business? Are they aware that there's an issue there that they need to fix? You don't even know what the issue is for them at this point because you didn't ask. We were so bent on getting our kit sold to check a box that we forgot to do the process the correct way. So we also need to know how committed they are to changing and fixing. We need to show them all of the options that are available to them and come up with the best solution. So let's go back to the person on your feed that's answered one of your posts that says, I want more information. Great. Get into a conversation with them and start asking some questions. What is it that intrigued you the most? Oh, I just love that you guys go on all these vacations and I keep seeing all these people get their car paid for. I'd like to make a little bit of extra money and get my car paid for and go on some vacations. Awesome. Well, what's going on in your life right now? Like, where do you work now? What is your job right now? What kind of things do you do with your time? Just start picking away at those layers and finding out where they're at right now. How hungry are they to actually build a business with you? Are they the right candidate for you? Maybe they tell you, I've been working 2 jobs. I have no time for my family. I have no time for my kids. I have no time to do anything. But I need these 2 jobs because in order to be able to make the house payment, the car payment, and go on a family vacation this summer, I have to work 2 jobs. Well, Susie, if we could alleviate one of those jobs for you, would you be happier that you had more time with your family? Okay, so they're aware there's an issue. They're aware they're not spending time with their family. They're aware that they're not making enough money at one job, that they have to have 2, right? So then we move to how committed to changing and fixing this are they? All right, Susie, you said you're already working 2 jobs. You already don't have enough time for your family. I want to help you earn some extra money. Can you tell me how much money you would need to earn with this to replace one of those jobs, just so I can get an idea of where you're at and how much commitment we're going to need from you to change this? So she gives you a scale. Now you know a little bit more about how much money she needs to earn to get rid of one of those jobs. And you got to start figuring out how quickly you can get her to that income. Now, remember, you have an upline. Okay, there's a lot of us that have done this for a really long time, and we know exactly how to go through and figure that out with you for your person. So please lean on us for help in figuring that out so you can have that conversation, or bring us into a three-way chat at this point so we can help them figure this out. So when we figure out what she needs to make to walk away from one of those jobs, and we know that she wants to take summer vacation this summer, we need to start figuring out how many hours a week she can commit to building this with us. Because if she tells you right away, I literally have no time, I won't even be able to spend an hour a week on this, I don't know that that's the person you should be trying to cram a kit down their throat. Like they need to be committed to actually spending a little bit of time changing or fixing this problem. So now you know where they're at. She tells you she can give 5 hours a week. She can give about an hour a day. It's going to be in the cracks of her day. It's going to be kind of sporadic, but she can give about 5 hours a day. Great. Now you know how much time she can give. She can give about 5 hours a week, about an hour a day or ish, right? And now you can figure out, all right, we can definitely get started with that. There's the IPA checklist in our team chat. There's some training we're going to onboard you with. Another shameless plug for Susie the Bot, www.susiethebot. When you onboard a promoter, make sure you put them through that. It will give them 14 days of automated training, hands off for you. You can just check in on them and see how they're doing, right? We're going to give them all the training that they need. So we're going to start them off on the training, best practices for their first 14 days, getting their samples out, spending the time where it needs to be spent on the most important things in their first 14 days. And that strategy to hit the VIP 800, 1600 bonus. We want to see them bring on their first couple of customers and bring on their first couple of promoters so that they have a bonus in their pocket and they're bringing money back in. Now you have them even more committed when you do that. But before we get to that point, right, we're committed to changing, we're committing to solve the problem. Options available. We have a $200 kit, a $400 kit, and an $800 kit. I just put together a video on selling that for you. I'm going to put that link together. You will have access and availability on why to choose which kit and how to pay for it. Okay. So make sure you're using that tool because I have put it together for you, and it will be a YouTube link that you can very easily send out of the board's application. So we want to give them their options of availability, the $200, the $400, the $800 kit. You can also ask them in here, what other things have they tried to make additional income? You come to me because you saw my post, you're interested in making more money. What other things have you tried? I mean, you're working a second job. Have you ever done any network marketing? Have you ever done any sales? Have you ever been a waitress? Have you ever been in customer service? Find out what some of their experience are, because maybe we can use some of that in their business, right? And in their network, finding out who they know. So let's give them their options available and let's come up with the best solution for them. I can tell you what I recommend in that video. The best solution is the $400 or the $800 kit, but we have to remember there is a $200 kit. And so if that's the only thing that they can get started with, that's the only thing they can get started with. However, in that video, I explain very easily how to do and use the Klarna app or the Afterpay app so that they can break down that $400 or $800 kit into smaller bite-sized payments over 6 weeks and get more product and a more bang for their buck and a better start off to their Lavelle brand promotership. So those are the best solutions you can. Now, when you've got your kit sold, it will be so much easier, I should say, to sell this kit and get them started because we went through the wheel the appropriate way and we weren't trying to talk somebody into doing this business that really wasn't aware there was even an issue in their budget. They weren't even committed to changing it. And that will stop a lot of frustration on your part. But it does another thing here, you guys, in the customer and the promoter aspect of this. If you're asking a lot of questions about what they've tried, how committed they are, what their issues are, why is this a problem, they don't know you care about them. And one of the things that they need to know most about, joining and doing business with you is, do you care about them? And do you have their best interest at heart? And are you going to help them build the business that you've built for yourself or that you're promising you can help them build? A lot of that doesn't go on when we skip that first, second, and third step and the fourth step. We've given them many options of availability, right? So I highly recommend using this wheel for every single prospect you come about. I think that you'll close a lot more sales. You'll waste a lot less time and you'll waste a lot less product, and you will have a better rate of your promoters hitting VIP 800, VIP 1600, 4K when you've done this process correctly up front, because you'll know all of the things that are issues in their life. You'll know their schedule and you'll know what they're committed to. So I hope this training was valuable. Please review it anytime you start feeling stuck in your sales pattern again. So you can go back and kind of put each scenario through this wheel. Every scenario you get, every trial, every potential promoter, put them through this wheel, use it every single time. And I promise you, you're going to see better results.